She was just beginning her morning shift, another day, another set of lives to save. But before she could even reach her patients, a uniformed officer's hand slammed her against a wall. In front of stunned strangers, a black nurse was accused of trespassing in her own hospital. Phones came out. Whispers filled the hallway. And as the cop reached for his handcuffs, everyone wondered the same thing. Was this woman about to be dragged away in shame, or was something far more shocking about to happen? It all began on a Tuesday morning at St. Mary's Hospital in Chicago. Nurse Danielle Carter had barely slept. She'd been pulling back-to-back shifts, caring for trauma patients through the night. Her tired eyes carried exhaustion, but also quiet pride. She adjusted her scrubs, swiped her badge, and walked inside. But the moment she entered the lobby, her path was blocked. Sergeant Rick Donnelly. A broad-shouldered cop with a history that people whispered about, an angry temper, arrests that didn't always add up, and complaints that somehow disappeared whenever they reached the precinct. His eyes locked on Danielle, sharp and suspicious. "Where do you think you're going?" he barked. Danielle lifted her ID badge. "I'm starting my shift." But he didn't even glance at it. He sneered. "Don't lie to me. I know your type. Sneaking around, pretending to belong. Not today." Before she could react, his hand clamped down on her arm. He yanked her against the wall so hard that the crack of her shoulder hitting plaster echoed down the hall. Conversations stopped. Visitors froze. A uniformed officer was pinning a nurse, an actual nurse, inside the very hospital she served. Danielle's voice shook, but she tried to stay calm. "Let me go. I work here. Please, check my badge." But Rick pressed harder. "You're trespassing. And now you're resisting arrest." He reached for his cuffs. The metallic click rang through the air like a death knell. Danielle's stomach dropped. For a terrifying second, she pictured herself marched out in handcuffs, her reputation destroyed, her years of service erased in a single moment. The crowd murmured. "Isn't she a nurse here?" someone whispered. Another voice muttered, "Don't get involved, you'll regret it." Phones recorded, but no one moved. Rick tightened his grip. Danielle braced for the humiliation. And then, footsteps. Slow. Measured. Heavy with authority. A tall man appeared at the far end of the hall. His silver hair gleamed under the fluorescent lights, his stride calm but commanding. Dr. Michael Reynolds, the hospital director. The lobby held its breath. Some whispered his name. Others wondered, would he intervene, or would he side with the officer? After all, cops backed each other. What if he just walked past? For one chilling moment, Danielle thought he might. Dr. Reynolds stopped halfway down the hall, his eyes narrowing as he studied the scene. The silence was suffocating. Then, at last, his voice rang out, sharp as steel. "Sergeant. Take your hands off her." Rick didn't flinch. This woman was trespassing. I caught her red-handed. The director stepped closer, every footstep echoing like a warning. His face was cold, his words precise. "That woman is Nurse Danielle Carter. She's been here longer than you've been stationed in this city. And every single person here just watched you assault her." Rick's grip loosened, his arrogance faltering. But he tried one last defense. "I was just doing my job." "No," Dr. Reynolds snapped. "You were abusing your badge." He pulled out his phone, holding it up so all could hear. "Yes, this is Dr. Michael Reynolds, director of St. Mary's Hospital. I have a sergeant here who just attacked one of my nurses, in front of multiple witnesses. Send internal affairs." The lobby went silent. Danielle's heart pounded. For the first time, she realized, this wasn't going to end with her in cuffs. Minutes later, more officers arrived. But this time, the handcuffs weren't for Danielle. They were for Rick Donnelly. The same crowd that watched her pinned against the wall now watched him marched out in shame, his career collapsing in the very building where he thought he was in control. Dr. Reynolds turned to her, his voice firm but steady. "No one lays a hand on my people. Not today. Not ever." Danielle stood taller, her arm bruised but her spirit unbroken. In that moment, she wasn't just a nurse. She was proof that no matter how dark the abuse, justice can walk in at the exact second it's needed most. And Rick Donnelly? He became the cautionary tale. A man who thought he could strip away someone's dignity, only to lose his own in front of the world. Some people hide behind power, thinking no one will challenge them. But all it takes is the right moment, the right witness, the right twist, and their world comes crashing down. If you want more shocking true crime stories with twists you won't see coming, subscribe now, because the next one might leave you speechless.